All right. Test.
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 You're ready, honey.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sweetie. Coming in 5,
I feel violated and gross already.
4,
I don't like it.
3,
Gross.
2.
Sorry, just had a shiver down my spine. Welcome back to segment number 3 of Convincing Idiots. If you've stuck with us this long, we appreciate you. And you, as you have heard at the end of the last segment, we teased you with, for our main segment, we will be discussing. We were posed the question, who in all of pop culture are some of your most sleazy, weaselly, slimy characters, and why are they Dean? So that is that's basically what we have come to here, gentlemen, of the third segment. There's throughout pop culture, whether it be I don't know that we put limits on it, but it could be any type of pop culture content, whatever. Just sleaze bags, right? Slimy, weaselly, untrustworthy, shifty characters, right? So not necessarily villains. I mean, sure they are certainly villains in
Probably
their
more
own
prevalent.
light, or right, yeah, they're certainly not the good guys typically of the story. Maybe they are, I don't know. But not necessarily main arch villains or anything like that, but just easily shifty, sleazy, untrustworthy characters. So Brian, this was one that you brought to us, so why don't we get started with you? Why don't you give us one just to get us going here?
Show us your weasel.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Okay. All right. One of the first ones that jumped in my mind here from the great Bruce Willis holiday movie, Die Hard.
Are you fucking serious?
That's all right. We're going to have some overlap in these.
No, but go ahead.
The character Ellis from Die Hard. This was the sales guy, the guy doing the coke that tried to negotiate with the terrorists, and hey, none of my business. I watched 60 Minutes and Of course, wound up getting himself killed and all that stuff. Just that entire movie, that guy was just a weaselly, slimy guy.
Absolutely.
You could tell he's probably hitting on the wife the whole time and this and the other. So, yeah, just a very unlikable character. And you almost kind of, in a weird way, were happy to see him get killed by the terrorists in that movie. So
go terrorists!
I told Megan, I'm like, out of all my list, I guarantee you, this is going to be the one like you didn't think of, because he's such a small part in that movie. Damn, good pull, Brian. Well done.
And even his look back then too was just different. He had a full beard, which the guys in that era didn't really have even yet necessarily. No, the guy has a beard, but I don't know, just the whole look. But the actor did a great job. Playing that role. So kudos to him.
Faulkner.
There you go.
What's his name?
Great job. You made a very unlikable character. So that was the idea. Nice. Nick, what do you got?
I'm going to start. I'm just going to go in order in the way that they entered my mind. So first to the party, and I'm curious if this is the one that when we kind of had this discussion through text chain, Brian said that thinks he knows one that I'm going to have, and I've got a couple that I feel like are.
I know who Brian was talking about.
I feel like I do too, and I don't know if this is it. So I'm just going to. This is the first person that entered. It's the first.
Let me name the actor, if I may.
Okay.
The actor who plays this role in my mind was Phil Hartman.
You are correct.
There you go. That's why.
Next door neighbor Ted from Jingle All the Way is the first one. I mean, this guy.
It was a good Weasley role for sure.
This guy is actively moving in on our hero of the tale, our main character, Howard Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's basically moving in on his wife the entire movie, and he's not even trying to hide it. He's just actively, shittily, just always there when he's not, and like
But the
doing things
balls on
around the
him
house.
to do it so blatantly, and his neighbor who he's trying to steal his wife from is a fucking
Could
wall
clearly
of a
kick
man.
your ass, right?
That's some balls.
It's just more. And Phil Hartman had such a what an incredible talent that we lost in Phil Hartman, and he was always so fantastic on Saturday Night Live. But man, I mean, as we've documented very well in the show, my love for Jingle All the Way, but Ted, the character of Ted, may well just make that movie for me, as well as any other element of it. Certainly from a comedy aspect, he is fucking hilarious. All the best lines in that movie are from him. And he's, like I said,
and I
he's
guarantee
just
you they're probably ad-lib too.
Oh, probably. Yeah, I'm sure he had a lot to do with writing a lot of that stuff, but he's just such a shit, and it's just fantastic. So yeah, he was. Ted was the first one that came to my mind from Jingle All the Way, the next door neighbor. So that is my first submission. So on to you, Dean.
All right, the first one that came to my mind was easily. Again, you guys started with bad guys. Mine's not necessarily a bad guy. He was from the television show Night Court. Dan Fielding, played by John Larroquette.
Very good. Yes.
That dude was like the epitome of the 80s, wearing the three-piece suit, trying to fuck anything that moved, just all about power and status. But he still, at the end of the day, yes, it was a TV show, so they had to have humanity to it. He was a decent guy down to it. And now with the new Night Court, they did bring him back in almost a redemption story. Like, he's an older man, so like he's like, oh, no, that shit's past me. I was married for 30 years. You know what I mean? So, they look upon it as just being a freewheeling guy in your 20s or 30s in the 80s, But he was a scumbag. He was sleazy, but he was fantastic. Dan Fielding, Night Court.
That's a good one. Very good. Okay, I've got from the Back to the Future franchise, Biff.
Did you read my list?
Well, he's a good.
You guys just watch all the same movies.
Well,
that's true.
He is the villain, of course, in the movies here, but he really
the trilogy itself.
Yes, you're right. The character really evolved, especially when he got to the second one. When he got to the second one, you really got the sleaziness of Biff, the plotting, and just the. I mean, literally.
And if they didn't model Biff from Back to the Future Part 2 after Donald Trump, I'll kiss your ass.
That's definitely a lot of similarities for sure in the look and the everything else, but. So just a very sleazy character. You hated Biff in all those movies. So again, that
nothing redeeming.
Great, no, not at all. Nothing. Never learned anything
from every generation to trying to. I mean, he was legitimately this movie and this family movie from the 80s. He was trying to rape her at the end of that movie. Like,
yes.
When he opened that door, that's what was happening.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, pretty extreme. Killed Mr. McFly.
He killed George.
Yeah, just crazy, man. Yeah, definitely a Weasley, slimy character. Hated Biff with a passion. That was the idea. Yep. Nick?
My next one that I thought of was Dean. I believe you've seen the show. Brian, I don't know if you have. This again, shifty, shady. Will stop at nothing to get whatever benefits him. I had to go with Frank Gallagher from Shameless, the popular TV show, played by William H. Macy. What a great character. Just, I mean, despicable. Truly despicable. And all these different points in, what was it, 9, 10, 11 I can't remember how many seasons it ran. Somewhere in that area. Just when you think that character can't go lower, he does. He does. At every turn. I mean, certainly flawed in every which way. Certainly an alcoholic, certainly a drug addict. Like I said, will never hesitate to use any of his illegitimate children to his benefit to get things that help him, score money, drugs, alcohol, whatever. But Frank Gallagher was just a really well-written character, and kind of personifies stories you hear of people doing horribly shameful things, and
Sure.
he was an embodiment of all of it. So Frank Gallagher was the next one I had written down. Dino.
Excellent.
All right. Well, I have a few different avenues I can go. But I am actually going to go with let's go a little science fiction horror comedy situation, and let's go Beetlejuice, portrayed by Michael Keaton in the movie Beetlejuice, who just got finished wrapping the second one.
Michael Keaton just is lapping again on his film career.
Oh yeah,
he's like, I'm going to do Beetlejuice.
Really
I'm going to do Batman. I'm going to.
Like, why wouldn't you at this point? You have a whole career. You are one of the best. Why not go back and just revisit, have fun, give nostalgia, enjoy
Live it again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
But Beetlejuice was, I mean, again, he was marrying a teenage girl against her will.
So weird. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
He was manipulating the teenage girl to escape from whatever dimension that was. He had a finger with a ring on it in his pocket. I mean, just a sleazeball.
Yeah. Very good.
But portrayed brilliantly.
Yes.
Where they so well that they gave him his own fucking cartoon.
That's right. They did. They did. He did the voice for that too, didn't he? I think he did. Did he?
I don't know. I
remember the cartoon though. You're right. I kind of forgot about that. You mentioned it. I'm like, yeah, they sure did.
They sure did.
Yeah, it's like a Saturday morning cartoon. Yeah,
that's great.
He was the good guy.
That's awesome.
Right. So, Beetlejuice is my number 2.
Okay, very good. Nick, this character is from one of our favorite movies. He gave us one of the greatest movie lines. I think it's cinema history, if I'm not mistaken here. You two donkey dicks couldn't get laid in a morgue.
Chet.
That's right, Chet from Weird Science. Yeah, Bill Paxton. Was it Bill Paxton? Right, that was one of his first movies, I believe.
Yeah, you're stupid, buttwad.
Yeah, we use that line growing up. So you guys feeling kind of queasy? How about a nice greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray? We used to use that to each other when we had hangovers the next day. We would recite that line to each other, me and my buddy Cooper, without fail, trying to get each other sick. Yeah. So, definitely great character, very sleazy, and did not learn his lesson until he was turned into some creature in the movie.
A pile of shit is what he was.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's right. It was a pile
he was a pile of shit.
Yeah, there you go. So, there you go. Chet.
Very good.
Perfect.
Very good.
Yes.
Fantastic. My next one is a true weasel in every sense of the form. Very hateable, actually. If you're familiar with the movie The Green Mile with Tom Hanks, there was a guard. I believe his father was a judge or something. That's how he got he was one of the guards. His name was Percy. And he was always tormenting the prisoners and being abnormally cruel, and he crushed the mouse that was the one really sweet guy's friend that was on death row, which sounds weird to say, but he was on death row, and then he didn't put the sponge on his head and fucking fried him. He's just a complete piece of shit. Like, just very. I mean, there've been there's a lot of good characters throughout TV and film. Only a few have I felt a real visceral hatred for, and full well knowing. And when I watch them, I'm like, God, hats off to that fucking actor, because I fucking hate that character. Percy is one of those that he was
Doug Hutchinson.
Doug Hutchinson is the actor's name? Okay, yeah. Man, what a piece of shit Percy was. Like, just horrible, horrible piece of shit. Just took such joy in everyone else's pain, and he was such a just sniveling little shit. And so I wrote down Percy from The Green Mile as well.
Excellent.
Dean, who you got?
All right. I'm going to go back to the good guy. In theory. They named the movie after the kid. But this kid was just ultimately a Weasley piece of shit. who probably ended up doing just Weasley shit as he got older.
Charlie Brown.
No. This kid's name is
Fuck that
Ferris fucking Bueller.
That's a
Ferris
good one.
Bueller is a sleazy turd.
Yeah, he is kind of a sleazy turd.
He ruined his best friend's dad's car.
That's right.
He got everybody in trouble. The principal,
skip school.
The principal was right the whole time. Mm-hmm. Yes, did he go about it the wrong way trying to catch him? Of course he did. But he was right about what sort of Weasley turd Ferris Bueller was. So
you're right.
Matthew Broderick portrayed Ferris Bueller in Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's very good. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a good way to look at it.
Brian?
I want to take you way back. I don't even know if you watched this or not. So this was the first that I could think of, like the first Weasley character on a television show that as a child, I'm like, I fucking hate this dude with a passion. Andy Griffith. No, that's a joke. It's not Andy Griffith. Did you ever watch?
That hurt me a little bit. Like my initial reaction was like, "Fuck
this guy!"
You can't say a bad word about Andy Griffith for Christ's sake. So that was yeah. From the original Lost in Space television show, Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
Yep. That dude played such a good Weasley character, always purposely fucking up everybody else. He would jump back on that ship at the drop of a fucking hat if everybody else was outside dying, getting attacked by an alien. He was out of there and would throw whoever, the robot or otherwise, right under the fucking bus. And he never, ever, that I could think of, had ever any redeeming qualities, ever. I think it was a stowaway to begin with. He was a stowaway, I think, on the ship to begin with. They didn't want him there. He wasn't part of the mission and all that type of stuff. Man, that dude was such a good actor.
But oddly enough, he was a fucking doctor.
Yeah.
He didn't do shit. He didn't do any fucking doctoring.
Hated him.
No doctoring done.
If that situation would have occurred in real life out there, he would have been killed. That crew would have killed him.
They should have killed him.
There's no question about it. They would have killed him or taken him somewhere and let him fend for himself or whatever it was.
Ginger should have cut his throat in the first episode.
Yeah,
that
the robot would have snapped and broke his neck or something like that. Anyway, Dr. Smith.
That character is who wasn't that played by Gary Oldman in the 99 movie of Lost in Space with Matt LeBlanc
and he was Weasley too. At least they kept the character Weasley. There was a Weasley character. So yes, Gary he did play a Weasley character, very deceitful and everything else here. So yeah, but I'm talking about the original '60s TV show. Awesome. You can find it out there on streaming. I think maybe for free. But check that out.
Nice. All right. My next submission was just inspired, actually, by Dean's, and I couldn't believe I forgot, but you ignited something in me when you mentioned Ferris Bueller that instantly I bumped other people because I'm like, this list is not complete without this character.
I actually had the same thing. I wrote a new one down. Brian.
So as a child, this was, in my opinion, in my estimation, as a child watching this television show, this was kind of the hero of the show. He was the main character. But upon further review, and a recent web series. that's what he said about it. That's what happened in my soul when you said Webster. Oh my God, I fucking love Webster. How dare you? That hurt a little bit. Fuck Webster. God damn. Oh, I love Webster. Webster's a discussion for another day. I adore that show. Anyway, no, this list would not be complete without my next submission. And a more recent web series further highlights all the points. Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell is a complete piece of Zach Morris is trash.
He sure is.
Have either of you ever watched Zach Morris's trash on Funny or Die on the web episodes?
I am not.
They are fantastic. There's a ton of them. They go through every episode of Saved by the Bell, and there's a narrator that outlines all the reasons that Zach Morris is problematic and garbage, and like all the shit that he's using his friends for and making his friends do, and trying to get laid. And he's just fucking the worst.
Well,
Zach
what
Morris
does that say about like the 80s and 90s that those were our heroes?
And he was advertised to you as the cool kid.
Yeah. Ferris Bueller, Zach Morris.
Right. Absolutely. So, Zach Morris, like I said, once you mentioned Ferris Bueller and the wheels started to turn, I'm like, this list of mine would not be complete without Zach Morris. I have to put Zach Morris in there. He was a total sleazeball. He was a total slimer every step of the way. Please, anyone and everyone who's listening to this, all you'll need is one little episode. They're like, 15, 10 minutes long each, but they outline and
what's the site again?
It's called it initially came from Funny or Die, but you can find it on Facebook. Just search Zach Morris's Trash, and you can watch all the episodes. Like they're all on there. YouTube, they're all on there. Search it anywhere, but it is hilarious. They're very, very well done and hilarious. The narrator's great. Zach Morris. Dean, over to you.
All right. I've been inspired because when I was a kid, one of my early experiences besides Dan Fielding, definitely before Dan Fielding, the weaseliness and sleaziness that is Frank Burns.
Oh, that's a great one.
Yeah,
so good.
Portrayed by
classic.
Nick. Tell me more about Frank Burns.
Huh?
Tell me more about Frank Burns.
Are you talking about Mr. Burns? Oh, I thought you were talking about the dude from The Simpsons. I was like, I didn't know his first name was Frank.
Frank Burns from MASH.
Oh, fuck, yeah, I don't know about anything about that.
Larry Linville.
I couldn't name you a single character from MASH.
Okay, well, Frank Burns was the weaseliest.
Oh, yes.
Sleaziest, just the epitome of just a gutless coward.
Yeah. Great choice.
Larry Linville was a genius.
Yeah.
I mean, especially back then, like to portray that level of sleaziness back in the late 70s or whatever. Just brilliant. Larry Linville as Frank Burns.
Yeah, he was a good foe for Hawkeye and Pierce back then.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Now, I'm not taking anything away from Charles when he came in, but they were definitely totally two different situations.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. Charles was more pompous and everything else, but you're right. Frank
but
Burns
he wasn't hateable.
Yeah, Frank was hateable.
Yes, absolutely.
One of my favorite scenes, Dean, was when they were teaching the Koreans English at Hawkeye.
Frank Burns eats worms.
Frank Burns eats worms. Yeah, that was great.
So great.
Yeah. All right. Well, you mentioned Mr. Burns, Nick. That was actually on my list too. So The Simpsons. So Mr. Burns, and this is the boss of Homer Simpson. To me, easily one of the most weaselly characters of any series. Certainly one of the most weaselly animated characters of all time. Just obviously we all know Mr. Burns running an organization, a nuclear power plant as cheaply as possible. Terrible boss. Rich man releasing the hounds on people. That's one of my favorite moments on that show. Is he just wants to get rid of people. Release the hounds.
Release the hounds. Smithers, release the hounds.
That's right. Smithers loves him literally, and he just completely bashes him all the time. The man has a trap door in his office. That is just the best.
Simpson.
Love that character. Yeah, for years I had it on my. Yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. It's been changed. On my LinkedIn profile, my professional profile, I thought it was funny personally that my profile was Mr. Burns was my personal password to get into my LinkedIn profile. I just thought that was pretty funny at the time. Yeah. So anyway, yep. Great character, great voice.
Very good. In the spirit of keeping it animated, my fifth and final one is Quagmire from Family Guy. What a sleazebag. Just always,
absolutely.
Just total sleazebag every step of the way. just motivated by nothing other than sex, and I can't really fault the guy for that totally, but he just was just like I said at any and all costs, he was just a total sleazebag. So Quagmire is another one I have written down.
Totally.
Excellent.
All right, my fifth and final one here. I have Chaz Reinhold. Any takers?
Chaz Reinhold.
I know the name. I know the name.
Was portrayed by Will Ferrell at the end of Wedding Crashers.
Oh, right.
Yeah, okay.
The dude went
the
to funerals to pick up chicks. That is sleazy. Come on.
That's good.
As funny as Will Ferrell is, I mean, just with the idea that you go to funerals to pick up widows is about the sleaziest damn thing there is. So
that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any rapid fire honorable mentions? Just rapid fire. Boom, boom. Anything else?
Sorry.
Nick, go ahead.
Me. I've got. I also wrote down Dennis from Jurassic Park. He's just he's out for himself and all this. Doesn't matter what it costs anybody else or how dangerous it is to anybody. Yes. Yeah. So and I mean he gets his in the end with the spitter, but he was definitely a slimy character.
Great.
My honorable mention was General Hux, portrayed by Domhnall Gleeson.
Sure.
General Hux is just his dad was part of the military and he probably got the commission because of that, and he would backstab anybody to gain power, and so to keep with our nerddom here, General Hux.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Two quick ones. How about in the early Avengers movie, Loki? I thought Tom Hollingsworth was a great Loki. Before he kind of turned good, was a very, very, very good sleazy character. And Dean, one of your favorite. I'm surprised I didn't hear it from you. One of your favorite movies. I know one of mine as well, of all time. How about Mayor Vaughn from Jaws? Amityville Mayor.
I had
Vaughn.
Thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's just everything's fine. Everything's good. Goes swimming again, and he knew that obviously there was a killer shark out there.
Shark was there.
Got to keep making money. It's vacation season. You got to make the budget.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
See, he would be he a little bit less sleazy if given in the book he had gotten in some dealings with the mob and he owed them money. Like the mob had helped them the city to stay afloat. So that's why he was so adamant of like, just get in the water, just get tourists here, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would have changed it a little bit, but still ultimately very sleazy.
Yes, absolutely. Well, guys,
one more honorable mention. Sorry, I would be remiss if I did not mention also in the Star Wars realm, Salacious Crumb.
Character.
What a little fucking weasel! You gotta love Salacious Crumb. I mean, he's another one. You can't trust him. You know damn well
he's a space weasel.
If he is a space weasel, if he had to sell out Jabba to better his situation, he absolutely would have, and that's why I love him. So Salacious Crumb. That's it for me.
Very good.
Very good.
Well, all those guys, all those characters certainly did not have a heart of gold, but who does have a heart of gold? Golden Heart Tattoo, our final partner here, this sponsor. I would say partner, sponsor this evening. So Golden Heart Tattoo, if you're in the
part owners of Golden Heart Tattoo, convincing idiots.
Yeah, Scott owes us some money for that. I don't know, for some reason. If you're in the Northeast Ohio area, go see them in Norton at Golden Heart Norton. Find them on Facebook. Give them a call, 234-706-2982, or find them online, goldenhearttattoos.com. Very talented artist. Go check them out. Get some ink this year. Nick, we have done it.
We have done it.
We have made it to the end of episode 146, my friend.
146. Well,
that's a lot.
At the end of each and every episode, I like to tell you where we can be found. And this is episode 146. So by now you probably already...
Wait. Cut. Is that really the sleaziest you could do that?
Oh, baby boy, you want sleazy? I'm going to give you... I turned it from Carl from Aqua.
You sure did.
Oh yeah, baby, let me tell you something. If you're looking for the real sleaze factor, you came to the right place. Oh boy, I tell you what. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna send you over to the internet. You're gonna close out all those other tabs, right? I know you got your dirty magazine websites pulled up there. Oh, you're gonna find the best ones on the website. You're gonna go over to our Convincing Idiots link tree. All you gotta do is type into Google Convincing Idiots, LINKTREE, and right there you're gonna hit all the buttons and you're gonna follow them each and every one to the frickin' website machine, and you're gonna like him and you're gonna subscribe him and all that stuff. And then, baby, you're gonna come on over to our website, convincingidiots.wordpress.com. That's right. There, you're gonna buy merchandise with our faces on it. You're gonna put our faces on your bodies. And yeah, you're gonna wear them all over town. And then you're gonna tell them your favorite podcast is Convincing Idiots. That's where you like to go. So, for episode 146, be a lot better if it was 169, if you know what I mean. But it's 146. I am Sleazebag Millennial Nick, aka Carl from Aquatine.
I'm the sleazy Zennial Dean.
Excellent. Release the hounds on Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you that this podcast should be on Adult Swim? Come on, you sleaze bags.
Hey, Dean with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.
Ham gravy.
Just great talking.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Oh yeah, the Mexican one. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very good. It's one of the better ones out there. It's not too acidic at all. It's very good.
What are you drinking, Nikolai?
Nothing.
Oh,
I don't even have water. I don't have water at all.
Jeez.
I
You
know,
need to get something?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
How do you put up with this sober?
I'm warmed up. I don't know. I got a little nip from the milkshake there, but.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Is it kind of potent? Is it worth it?
It's not. That's not super strong. I mean, but it's delicious. It's very good.
Just
you
like
could definitely.
you.
Yeah, that's right. It's not strong, but delicious. That's right.